I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. We're on the road again. We're in downtown Kalamazoo, just across the street from Bronson Park. And we're going to be visiting the Heritage Company this morning. The Heritage Company sells architectural antiques and tools. Why don't I take you inside and show you around?
But yeah, we spent a lot of time on this building. This was Auto Part Distributors before we moved in, and we completely redid the whole outside of the building, the whole front, and then on the inside we redid it all. And for many hours I sanded these floors, all these maple floors, and sanded them on, put a nice finish on it, and then moved everything in, and then after that just left the floors. And they wear pretty well, being maple floors. And I love the ceiling. People think that the ceiling was it was a fancy store to begin with, but to be honest, when it was first, some of the first businesses in here were just secondhand stores, which is kind of ironic that that they would, that years ago and years later they would become a secondhand store again. But the ceilings are very decorative tin, and yet it was just a very simple store. There just wasn't. But I used to come in here when it was an auto parts store, and that was one of the things I noticed. It was like, my God, look at that tin ceiling. What a beautiful building, and here it is just being used for auto parts. Because they had a big heating system. It was a strange heating system. It was a deflective stainless thing that ran down the center of all of these bays, and it was an active flame, which I found kind of weird for an auto parts store. So we dismantled all that and eventually sold that to somebody else. But then I put in all the old schoolhouse globes and redid the ceiling. I spent probably a month alone just patching in all the holes in the tin ceiling, and then
it looks great.
Painting it this. It was Sheffield gold paint, and it was. I must have had 6 or 7 different colors up there. And then eventually chose this color, which I was very satisfied to have painted it to gold. So,
well, paint by itself makes a huge difference to things, just because it makes your eye see it all as a piece.
Yeah.
All the little patches and things that you've done. I used to rebuild old cars, and you go through and you rebuild this car, and you look at it and go, God, what a piece of crap. A little paint looks much better.
Oh yeah. In fact, sometimes I tell people where I used to do patches, because I took a bunch of tile from the back that were damaged and cut pieces out, and then I would use sheet metal screws and screw the piece on that was missing in this area so that it would match. And I want to demonstrate to people how good it looks, and I sometimes can't find the patches because the paint covered them up so well. Because it's an architectural salvage, it is a little bit different. We get draws from all over. I mean, people travel here from, from Indiana and Ohio and in different places. We get a lot of people from Detroit coming over looking for miracle doors. There's a certain door, a single panel door that's called a miracle door, and they have a lot of them in Detroit, and they'll drive over from Detroit. But there's fewer and fewer architectural salvage places, because in this day and age, you would think that people were really into still saving old parts of houses, but you see just rampant demolition of places like in Flint and Detroit now, where they're not saving stuff. Because they can take a house down. A house could stand for 100 years, and they'll take it down in 3 hours, and to them time is money, and there'll be a fireplace mantle in there or whatever, but they don't care, because they just want it down, and they get paid their $7,000 or $10,000 to take down the house, and then it's gone within hours.
Let's see what's in the wood trim room. Porch spindles, table legs, just pile after pile. Maple flooring, stair rail, banister.
Something hiding back there behind those two panel doors. It's a fireplace. Cast iron gas log fireplace. That'd keep you warm on those cold winter nights. And a giant C-clamp. Right next to a fish basket. Buzzsaw. Kennedy machinist toolbox. I had one of those when I was working. Giant anchor chain. Carousel stools. Horse harness and rope. Plaster molded colonnade base. Just barely stands up in this room, and it's got a 12-foot ceiling if it's an inch. Let's go down to the other basement. To kind of give you an idea of the number of doors. Both sides, and this is just one room, are packed completely full, solid to the point where you can barely fit another door in. And there's another room behind the camera. Now this is not the man cave. This is open sales space. You can visit here, and if you need a door, I'm sure you'll find it. This is the other aisle on the other side of the room. Rooms upon rooms upon rooms of materials. They have newer hollow doors and also the old-fashioned triple panel and double panel doors. Now that's not a door you're going to find everywhere. This door this is a swinging door that used to be between somebody's kitchen and the dining area. A photographic enlarging machine. Photographic enlarging machine. They were often used as part of quality control in factories. They would allow close inspection of parts and recording. Now let's go over into the window room. Here's just a few sash weights and a convenient scale so you can tell just exactly how much it weighs, so you can balance out that window in your house. All the way from little ones to these giant ones. all the way from little ones up to these giant 10-pounders. Screens, 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 screens. Screen doors galore. Multiple pane windows, single pane windows. All sizes from petite to giant.